Good afternoon and welcome to the 1st of January 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you've had a wonderful previous year and I hope last night went well for you and that you haven't got too much of a headache today for those of you that do like to party. And that's if you're even awake yet. Right, so anyway, I'm just going to do a quick video. I hope this year is better than last year in regards to politics, although I do doubt it very much. I have got my own predictions, which I'll get onto in just a minute. But I mean, my hopes for the year aren't the best, so I'm gonna prepare you now. But anyway, let's just get straight onto it. So I think this year we're going to see the current. We've had the past few years of current things, which have gone from the China virus. We've had Ukraine, and we've had the war in Gaza. Have been the three most recent current things. Preceding that, we've had BLM and we've also had Brexit. They've been really some of the and Donald Trump as well. They've been some of the major current things year on year. This year, I think we're going to see possibly multiple current things. I think mass movement of people is going to be a current thing for this year. I think we're going to see a ramping up of boat people coming into the United Kingdom, and it's same with the caravans of people going into the United States of America. I think we possibly may see either a spate of terrorist attacks related to these, or like we saw in London 2 days ago, riots happening, ethnically centered riots based around foreign politics happening in foreign countries. I think we may see a breakdown in larger cities in regards to that. I'm not saying that's going to be a full collapse of cities, but I do think that we're sort of reaching a point, a tipping point, so to speak. The way I like to say it to people when I talk about when is migration too much is like, you say Somalia as an example. Sorry to pick on you Somalis. If you have one Somali move to a country, is that a problem? Yes or no? Well, I would say no. If you have two Somalis move, would that be a problem? Also, no. What about 100? Well, if you move them around, they're all separate. No. What about if you move 1,000 Somalis? You see where I'm going with this. At what point does it become a problem in that country having those Somalis there? To the point of, what if we move the entirety of Somalia to a country? 100% of Somalia, that's about 90 million people, I believe. Would that turn that new country into Somalia? Yes or no? I would say yes, because Somalia isn't necessarily the land itself. It is the people that reside within that land as well. That is what makes, and by the country, I don't mean the geographic location on the map. I mean what makes it, its character, its flavour, that side of it. I mean, what makes the crime rates in Somalia? What makes the typical crime in Somalia? It's the people that live there. So if you move 100% of Somalia to another country, are you going to end up with Somalia 2.0? I would say yes. Plus the new people in there, so obviously that will make it even more conflict. Now, at what point do you get to? What is the tipping point of a percentage of a population? Does it take for Somalia to start seeing the signs of it becoming Somalia? I don't know the answer to that. But I do believe that there is a figure that once you start reaching a certain percentage in a population, you reach the so-called event horizon of degradation of society and heading towards what they've come from, turning that first world or second world country into a third world. And I do believe we're starting to get to that point now with the amount of migration we've been having. So that is my prediction for this year. We're going to start seeing a breakdown in in small areas. We're going to start seeing signs of colonization coming to the forefront, like we saw the other day as well with a wedding getting a car rammed into a group of people at 55 miles an hour, and a passerby being killed who was performing CPR. Absolutely terrible state of affairs. That was a Pakistani wedding, I believe, a Muslim wedding. Two warring families, Romeo and Juliet style. We're seeing that level of tribalism starting to come back now because these communities are so big that they are basically enclaves now, in my opinion, within wider society in certain parts of the country. My second prediction for the year is the governments around the world, in the West specifically, are going to be ramping up for a major conflict. Is it going to be World War III or is it not? I don't know. But I think with what we've seen in the Ukraine and what's been going on in Gaza, and we're seeing South Africa at the moment pushing for war crimes against Israel as well. they've done the paperwork for that. I mean, that's rich of them with what they've done to the white farmers in their country and the genocide against them. But there we go. So I think we're going to start seeing countries in the West, particularly the United Kingdom, the Anglosphere, really, so English-speaking countries in general. We're going to start seeing them trying to build bridges with heterosexual white working-class males again. For the past 10 years, who've been absolutely demonised and turned into the scum of the earth in those countries, we're going to start seeing the normalisation adverts. So Gillette will start doing rugby players and football players in adverts, and we're going to start seeing military advertising adverts showing white men going out drinking, and they're going to be skiing and having fun, and then a couple of scenes of them, shooting guns, things like that. Like that, the adverts used to be in the 90s and the 80s. We'll probably start seeing traditional action films from coming out of Hollywood again, showing white men saving the day, that sort of stuff. That is what I think we're going to start seeing coming through very, very soon. Might take the films a little bit longer to come through, or if you're from American movies, as they do take a couple of years of production and all that. But I think we're going to start seeing the woke getting put back in the box, so to speak. For those of you who don't know what woke is or want to be dead pedantic about it, politically correctness is going to start getting put back in its box again. But leftness and communist ideology will still be simmering under the surface, and will still be pulling the strings within the halls of power, because the people that are all in those places and in places like the civil service are all dyed in the wool communists, as far as I'm concerned. So do not listen to them until they've completely been gutted and removed. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Just a quick video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed those predictions, or you've got anything that you'd like to say against them, put a comment below. Please do. I always respond to people. Even if you massively disagree with me, mate, I do sometimes take people's ideas on board if I like them. I don't claim to know everything. Like and subscribe as well, and have a nice new year. Bye-bye.